Best of days to everyone here. Today we're just going to briefly go over glue joints. I guess I'll start by saying this would obviously be an improper glue joint because of the gap on there. It needs to be flush to where no light can be seen, and you squeeze it when you clamp it just like that, you know, to where there's no light. If you have light or gaps, that's an epoxy job. You'll need some type of filler in between it. Glue needs to be surface to surface. And if we're going to take two pieces of wood like this and we want to put them together without a joint, we're going to use what's called a scarf joint. And that is a 1:12 ratio. So for every foot, you take an inch off, kind of thing. So these are roughly 0.7 of an inch. So we need to go down probably 8 inches to have efficient distance to it. So I'll just mark this at 8 here. Make our surface line. Put this to the side. Set our ruler there. Take it down. The edge, draw ourselves a reference line, not to cut off. Flip this over. Make sure I see it, and do the same thing here. Now we can mount this up, and we're going to make sure, because it's going to get so thin on this side here, that we want to give it a backing, okay? So we're not causing troubles. That's enough clearance for me to move that clamp the other direction. Now this is a chipping plane, and you can see it's got massive depth cut right there. We'll do a couple of these to get started to take off the majority. You have to use a different clamping method for this. We'll see if we can make it do. Get close to that line. I want to move over to a different plane now so I don't mess up my joint. And this is a cool little block plane. They're pretty useful. I like them. checking. Make sure we're not gonna go over our line here. I'm going to move to another block plane that's a little smaller. And I have it set on a real light cut here. Went a little bit past the line on top. That's all right, it happens. Okay. Need some room, get my hand in there. Okay, now we have one scarf joint done. And we'll just repeat that process. And you'll be able to glue up two surfaces together and they will look straight. Also for gluing, you don't want, see how this is like bowed in the middle a little bit? That's a no-go. These surfaces need to be, you know, pretty, not showing any light. Like that's a no-go for glue. Right there. Even this surface is a no-go kind of stuff. It's closer, but you want no gappage in between, and you want to actually be tight with your clamps with glue. If you have gaps like that, that's kind of an epoxy ordeal, and you can use different type of fillers with epoxy too, like sawdust or just some type of thread like a fiberglass. So all these cloths like carbon fiber or fiberglass, they're all, that's where the strength comes from, and the epoxy just kind of holds it in place, but you need fibers interwoven together to hold. Another note for glue surfaces is you have a 2-hour window. So if I wanted to glue up my scarf joint here, from the time I cut this piece, now I have a new surface exposed in the wood, okay? And the moisture content is changing with this. So it's telling me I have 2 hours to work it before I need to recheck its squareness on it. So just keep that in mind. Don't go 4-square a board and set it aside for a day or two. It's gonna warp on you each time. That's just wood for you. So I hope that was informational today. Once again, a scarf joint is 1 to 12. So for every foot, you're gonna do 1 inch, you know, in depth on the cut there. And there's a lot of uses for scarves, like especially in boat building. You can, you know, you obviously have stuff that's longer than a tree will let you go, so you'll have to do scarf joints. And you can also do like drill and fasten with screws on that too, and you use a bong on top, like if you're like a shear rail or something, you know, a little hand rail that you put together. it's on top of something. There's no harm in throwing a screw and a little bung hole on that, and we'll probably mess around with some screws and bungs next video. Anyways, take care, have a wonderful day. Peace.